Yeah, you can shoot as many basketballs as you want, assuming you have passed your physical. We have yet another argument for universal health care in this country. Otis Thorpe, he arrived in Portland on Thursday and couldn't get an MRI in time to complete his physical. Not a big deal for the Blazers, who did not play on Thursday, but Clyde Drexler, who was dressed up and ready to make his debut for the Rockets, could not play until Thorpe got his grade A stamp. Rockets in Charlotte, and there he is, all dressed up and ready to go. Meanwhile, his new mate, Tim Bro, stuffed by Alonzo, but look at him get the ball back to Akeem, and he stuffs it. Silent H had 29. Hornets now on the break. Muggsy Bogues leading the way. Can't stop him if you can't see him. Hornets led by 1. Watch the cameras. They got the facts finally. Thorpe passed the physical. Drexler's in the game. And how about the 3 for your first points? There it is. Then Kenny Smith, a long pass to Clyde, his first dunk as a Rocket. And then Clyde said, "Let there be rain." Rain in the Summit. And then Kenny Smith said, "Let me rain." 3-pointers. There's one, and yet another, and then one more, all from the same spot. He had 19 in the third. Time running out in the third. Chucky Brown stealing the inbounds pass, lets the 3 fly, beats the buzzer. A 41-point third for the Rockets. Drexler also showing his passing ability in his new home, gets it to the Silent H for the score. And the Rockets, in Clyde's first game, win it by 16. 8 points for Drexler in his debut. Olajuwon grabs 14 boards in Otis Thorpe's absence. Tracy Murray did not score on his 2 shots. The Hornets now 2-15 all-time against Houston. Clyde Drexler happy to be back home.
A lot of anxiety, a lot of nervous energy. I didn't know what was going to happen, so my mind was in a million different places at once. And when I finally hit the floor, I was so excited, I really didn't know what to do. Rudy T was calling plays, and I just couldn't think.
Youthful exuberance from Clyde. Spurs and Jazz. Stockton still looking for Avery Johnson after that play. They would get it back, though. Horny Carl Horny. Stockton's not the only one on that team who can pass. And how about John Crotty? He, too, can pass. Leads the break to Carl, who had 34 points in the game. Less than 5 to go in the first half now. Doc Rivers. Quick hands. Strips Malone. How about a launch? Not in time. Sorry. David Robinson, not a highlight of his career, getting blocked by James Donaldson. Yes, not even Bob Hill believes that, as the Jazz win by 7. 34 points, 10 boards for Malone as they split the home and home with the Spurs. Dennis Rodman signs in with his 11th 20-rebound game of the year. The Jazz now lead the Spurs by 3.5 games. Lakers looking for 5 straight against the Kings. Walt Williams, do-si-dos, Eddie Jones to Brian Grant to Spud. How does that not get blocked? We don't know. The Lakers would answer with Nick the Quick Van Exel to Anthony Peeler to Sam Bowie. A 1-point game at the half. Got to be a good one. It wasn't. Not for the Lakers. Peeler, no. Campbell, no. Gets it back. Blocked. Lakers had 30 points in the second. Sacramento goes the other way. Mitch Richmond to Lionel Simmons to Michael Smith to Olden Polynice. She cannot move the ball better than that. And they don't. Kings win it by 6. L.A. connecting on just 5 field goals in the fourth quarter. Sacramento not much better. 4 of 18 on 3-pointers. 20 of 28 from the Stripes. Rather fitting that Harold Miner and Glenn Rice, members of the Miami Heat, won the slam dunk and the 3-point contest. 2 things that don't count. Of the games that do count, the Heat won just 16 over the first half of the season, and consequently, Kevin Lockery is out of work. Heat hosting the Knicks, looking to keep Alvin Gentry's record perfect. Forget Charles Oakley. We've got Anthony Mason spinning past Keith Haskins, had 12 off the bench in the first half. Patrick Ewing beating the quadruple team. Knicks up 11 at the break. In the second half, Patrick Riley would see the Heat come back. Billy Owens to Kevin Willis on the business end. And what about Matt Geiger? Alvin Gentry is pure genius going to Matt Geiger. Heat within 4, but the Knicks pull away. Starks to Mason, gets the hoop and the foul. Mason finished with 22, and the Knicks win by 9. Anthony Mason hitting 9 of his 10 shots, finishing with 22, 13 above his season average. Mason scored 24 the last time the Knicks played the Heat. Pat Riley called Mason our injection of life. Nuggets looking to break the 3-game slide against the Nets. Derek Coleman with the Nehru jacket, I believe. End of the first. Inbounds to Chris Childs. Absolutely from half court. Nets lead by 5. Nothing for the Nuggets going right. Rodney Rogers rims the slam. Third, Kenny Anderson with the steal, and watch his eyes.
Here he comes.
Never looks at Chris Morris. Great pass as the Nets cruise. They win it by 6. Gene Littles has now lost 12 of his 14 games since taking over for Issel Missel, including the last 4. Kenny Anderson led the Nets with 20 points, 15 assists. Derek Coleman still sidelined with the dreaded fractured pelvis. The priceless Cavs at Milwaukee. Ty Hill still sitting. Eric Murdoch not. The bounce pass to Vin Baker, who throws it down. We go to the end of the first. Terrell Brandon. We have another half-court shot. Again, we've got 3 of those on this evening. Brandon had 18 and more buzzer beating. Chris Mills beats the clock, and Bobby Phills beats the buzzer. He had 22, and a little too much cheese, looks like, from the fans in Wisconsin. Cavs win by 21. The Mills-Phills connection combines for 45 points. Cavs shoot 53% from the floor. Bucks just 40. Said Todd Day, we couldn't throw a penny into the ocean. Steve.